BeatStars.com. 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 BeatStars.com.
Yes, we're about to get this thing rocking. Yes. We are live. It is Tuesday, August 18th, 2020. I am your host, Mike Trampy, BeatStars Community Director. This is the road to 1 million streams, and I got two incredible guests with me today. I'm going to start to my right, virtually. Thomas Crager, what's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
What's up, man? Thanks for having me.
Hey, man. It's a pleasure to have you on board. Where are you from again? Will you just tell me where you're from? Let the people know.
I'm from Connecticut, but I live in LA right now.
Word up, man. Well, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
Second, we got Dylan, a.k.a. Dillygotitbumpin, who's got one of my favorite beats, man, of the year, or I think it was this year, whenever it was, one of my favorite tracks on the platform, but we'll get to that. Talk to him, man. Where are you from? How you doing? All that good stuff.
I'm good. I'm chilling. I'm from Fort Collins, Colorado, and just been making beats all day.
My man, it's the way to be. Well, guys, if you're just tuning into the show for the first time, this is the road to 1 million streams. We basically talk to different producers who have hit 1 million streams on BeatStars, and just find out how they got there, what tips and tricks they have, what kind of advice they have, and just get their story. So with that said, I'm just going to start with you, Dylan. I'm going to swing it right back to you. Just, you told us where you're from. Have you always lived out there? And then kind of like, just tell us like your background and kind of how you got into music and like kind of what your background with music is.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I've lived in like northern Colorado my whole life. Just basically I got into music. I was playing, I guess I was in like Wyoming for a year or two because I was playing junior college basketball. Mm-hmm. And like one of my teammates showed me GarageBand. And that was like my freshman year of college. And so during like study hall and stuff, I'd just be like making beats and stuff and just like trying to figure it out. And it was just way fun. And so it kind of just like replaced like video games at the time. And then because I have like no musical background, like especially growing up or anything. But so I just got into GarageBand, and then I think I upgraded to Logic Pro after that. And then I was just doing it in my free time like all the time. And then now I'm in Ableton, but I just opened it up one day after my teammate showed me and just been obsessed with it ever since.
Did you have like a love and passion for music before that though? Like, were you just like heavy into listening to music and kind of like formulating stuff? Because that's how I started when I was young. Like I started putting songs on, like, we had cassette tapes back then. I'm old. And I'd make mixtapes and stuff like that. So like, that's how I kind of knew I had a knack for it and I became a DJ. But same, like, did you have anything else you were kind of doing that really showed you had a musical passion or interest?
I liked music, but I wouldn't have identified with someone who was like really into music back then, honestly. I would say like my main thing back then was basketball, but I loved, I did love hip hop. I always have. Like, okay. I used to like, I remember like when I was way young, I was like into like, this like third grade, I was like into Eminem and like 50 Cent and stuff like that, like Get Rich or Die Trying. And then like in high school, like I listened to like a lot of Mac Miller, and then Mac. Always Drake. Oh, sorry, what was that?
I said rest in peace, Mac.
Yeah, R.I.P. That sucks. But yeah, and then and always Drake, always Kanye. So I liked it, but like when I figured out to make like I could make beats, like it was way more fun because I could like interact with it like more so than like just like kind of like passively like listening. I really liked making it. That was fun.
Absolutely.
When I got into it.
And to piggyback off who you listened to and who you liked, I can hear that in your beats, and we'll get to that eventually in the show. Listen to some of your beats, but I can actually hear a lot of those influences that you just talked about in your music, which is really cool to hear. All right, so what was the time difference from when you said your teammate, I think, showed you GarageBand? How long ago was that? 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years?
5 years.
5 years. Okay, so no musical background, wasn't even making beats 5 years ago, has over 1 million streams, killing it. That was one of my favorite beats. So you must have done something right in those 5 years. So that's what we're here for, to find out what you did in those 5 years. Let me go through some stats real quick, man. There's front-facing stats on the platform. Anybody can go to the marketplace and pull up any account and then go to tracks and filter by top selling. So this isn't anything secretive. So I pulled some of your stats, man. You put up, and you've been a member since January 2018. Does that sound accurate?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in that time frame, you're talking, it'll be 3 years, this 2021. So you put up 420 tracks, 1.5 million streams, 45.4 thousand followers, And then basically you also have 61,000 YouTube subs, which I'll get into. But I mean, these stats are ridiculous, man. Your top selling beat is just ridiculous. 272,000 streams. It's a beat called Bad Things. So what were you doing? Like, we just uploading? Like, what's the key to success here, man? This is what people are looking for. Like, what do you think it is in your opinion?
Yeah, so there's a lot of things. I don't know if there's just one thing, and it's not really like that secretive either. Like, it's like just staying consistent. Because I remember in about October 2018, I was like, because I was making beats before that, and like I said, like I've been making them for 5 years, so that was like about 2 years ago, and like October 2018, I was like, okay, I'm gonna turn this into like a real business, like so like I was trying to figure out like how to grow on YouTube, because like that's still most of the traffic. BeatStars marketplace is really growing though, and I really like what's happening over there, because like I would say probably 70% of my sales come from YouTube and 30% of from BeatStars, and the BeatStars is growing. Yeah, so I like my whole goal was to figure out like how the YouTube algorithm works. How do you go from 0 to something? And like and that was back in October 2018 when I started trying to figure this out. And then like so I think I started with like 3 uploads a week. And then I bumped it up to I try to go daily now. And then like over time I've just like ever since then, like I only did that for probably a month or 2, and then I went to daily as much as possible. And there'll be like a day I miss here and there, but yeah. So it's like just uploading every single day, and it's kind of like through the uploading every single day, you kind of discover what people like from you. And so it's like it's just trial and error. Like and so you start for YouTube, you kind of start with like, you got to start like with a specific niche, like way more specific than people think. Like some people upload like beats and they have like 20 subscribers and they're uploading like Drake type beats. And that's just not going to work, because like the big channels are going to rank for Drake type beats for most of the time. I mean, sometimes there's a fluke, but there's so much competition for that. So what you want to do is probably start with something like ultra specific. Like for me, it was Kanye West college dropout type beats. And then like I could just, even as a small channel, like when I had like 200 subs, 300 subs, you could just like, if you put good Kanye West college dropout type beats, you're going to rank on the top page. Like it's not going to be all that hard, because not that many people are doing that right now. And there's like different keywords you can find that for. You just got to find your thing. And so then eventually you start building like a subscriber base, because you get the people looking for that specific sound. And then over time you get like a little more like channel credibility, like in YouTube's eyes and the algorithm's eyes. And then you eventually can like you can start kind of expanding a little more. You can kind of just move to Kanye type beats and kind of hit a broader audience. But even if you have like a Kanye West college dropout type beat keyword, you can still rank for a Kanye West type beat. So you might as well do both, because you can get the dropout type beat, so you get those super specific ones, and then you can also get the Kanye West type beat. Like my second biggest channel is like a Drake So Far Gone type beat. I labeled it Drake So Far Gone type beat because not a lot of people are posting So Far Gone type beats in 2020, but a few people are looking for them. So like there is a big enough like market of people looking for them. So they'll look for the So Far Gone type beat, but then eventually it started to just rank for a Drake type beat. And then it got really big. And so like, and then you like you try to rank every single day. It's like every single day is like a shot attempt at it. And then so like you're putting out beats, 365 beats a year. That's 365 attempts you have to rank and start building in subscriber base. And that just compounds. It just builds on each other. Like each beat brings in more people. You get more channel credibility, and it just snowballs.
Exactly. And you're driving, and all those videos you're posting, you're driving them back right to your beat store, right to the beat. So it's a really quick and easy process. And then that snowballs even more to when you start building up, driving traffic to, your pro page, the marketplace, wherever it is, or even just your website with embedded player. People are going to start to know who you are more, and then they're going to start looking for your stuff more. And then your growth on the marketplace we'll start noticing the staff. Like the consistency part is just huge, because it gives everybody more opportunities to see your work. Thomas, I want to swing things over to you, man.
Yeah.
I know you're a little bit more of an OG on BeatStars. You've been around since 2016 December. Does that sound accurate?
Yeah, I think like actually like January 1st, like 2017, if I'm not mistaken, or it's something. Yeah, December 2016, whatever, something like that.
I looked up stats, so I think I'm pretty accurate.
Yeah, you probably. Right.
I'm just making sure to make sure.
Yeah. No, that sounds right though. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. All right, man. So 403 tracks in that time frame, 1.1 million views, 9,000 followers. You got 40K as subscribers on YouTube as well. I mean, based off what we just talked about, is there a lot of things different in your approach and how you kind of, approach like the online beat selling stuff? And before let me backtrack a little bit before we get into that too. Give me some background on yourself as well.
Okay.
You told us where you live. You from Connecticut, now in LA. But like, how did you get your start in music? Do you have any background in music or anything like that?
Yeah, I do. Like, I mean, I feel like this sounds like so like cliche, but honestly, like I started with like the recorder in elementary school, and like I knew how to play. Like I got the instrument like kind of like that, like and like naturally too. Like I didn't even practice or anything, but like the teacher always thought I was putting in hours of work on the recorder, like
that's great.
So like I started with that, and like I know it sounds like very basic, but even then, like you're learning like like note duration, like things like that, like just how to read music, like little things to kind of give you like a basic music foundation or whatever. So like I started with that. Then I started playing cello in like 4th grade, and I played that all the way through high school. And that just like kind of got me into stringed instruments, like I kind of just got the feel for playing string instruments. So that's when I picked up guitar, and I would say like that's like kind of my main thing, like playing guitar. So like once I started playing guitar, I gave like the artist thing a go, and like I'm trash. Like, like people let that be known, like they would tell me. But like I always liked writing songs. So even then, like I got kind of like a good song form. I feel like that's one thing that's like super key is like like the consumer like listening and being like, oh, that's where the verse is coming in, like that's where the chorus is coming in. It just makes it like easier for the consumer or the artist like to get like a good vision or like idea of like what they want to do over the beat, But so like I've been playing guitar though since like 2004 or something. So like I've been doing it for a while, and I think like those were like some of like the first beats that started to like pop off on my YouTube channel were like guitar ones. Not all guitar, but like I also did like jazz band in school, like play guitar in jazz band. So like I knew like, about like extensions on chords and, kind of like real books, the real book, like jazz standards and stuff. So like I was learning out of that. So I knew kind of like, how to play like jazzier chords as well. And like that started kind of to get popping when like, the trap soul started to get popular, kind of like, that Bryson Tiller type of deal. And like, that's literally just like essentially like jazz standard chord progressions, but like in a different like production format, So I kind of had some background in like knowing how to do like R&B and jazz stuff. So that's kind of where like my YouTube also started to pop off. Like I had this one beat called You, and it was a Kehlani type beat. Like I feel like at the time, like nobody was really doing Kehlani beats. Like I think Dylan said as well, like he was saying, he uploaded, what was it? One of your first beats? Is it Kanye?
The dropout type beats.
Yeah. So, and probably like not that many people were like, doing that, like when you upload it. So you kind of just, try new things too. Like try labeling as different artist titles and stuff until like something hits. And like, when it hits, it's like, oh, okay. Like I noticed like, oh, my Kehlani type beats are really like popping. Like those are the ones like gaining me views and followers and stuff. So I kind of like stuck with that. I was like, I'm going to do like more R&B and stuff like that. And I don't even think you necessarily have to like put yourself in a box and be like, I'm only doing R&B or like I'm only doing trap or whatever. Like I do a little bit of everything. Like in my trap beats, they sell as well, but I wouldn't say like my guitar stuff, So I feel like that like my guitar stuff is really like how my beats started getting attention, because people would be like, oh, is that like a sample or whatever? I'd be like, no, like I played it, And then I was reaching out. Another thing I was doing was I was reaching out to bigger producers on YouTube, and I was just sending them like the hottest guitar loops like I could possibly come up with, I was like, hey man, like you know, how much do you charge for a collab? Like, you know, I like to approach it that way because it's like, you don't just want to like spam somebody's thing. Like, let's collab. Here's a bunch of loops. So like, you know, I let them know, like, do you want to get paid for a collab? And if they say, some people, you know, they don't take payments. It's just whatever they get a vibe off of, they do a collab. And then other people do. So like I paid for some collabs, like starting up with like a couple of the bigger guys. And then I did some for free, like, cause they were rocking with my guitar loops and stuff like that. So I think that was a main thing too. Like I was really reaching out to other producers that I noticed on BeatStars and on YouTube. And I was reaching out, I was like, let's collaborate. You know?
I think it's great, man. I think, you know, when you deal with any type of situation like that, I think, you know, what value you bring to those situations can really, you know, make or break them. So obviously, you know, you want to look at, you know, if I'm collabing with somebody and it is some type of payment, like what is your return on investment? I don't think just collaborating to collaborate, and throwing some money away. But if you do it strategically, which it sounds like you did, I think is I have nothing against it. I think it's a great way to build. And I think what you'll find out as you build more relationships with people, like they're going to realize, yo, you're dope. If you're dope, like they'll want to collaborate with you more, and they'll be like, don't worry about, you know, paying. Like we can just start building on other stuff. We can split revenue. So it's definitely a way to get your foot in the door. So I definitely feel that.
And I made a return on every collab I paid for. I didn't even pay for that many collabs, like maybe like 3 max or whatever, like the whole time I've been making beats. But you know, sometimes it's just good to get your name out there. And like I like to play to my strength too, like, which is guitar. Like that's something as well, like play to your strengths, you know, like if you're good at something, like I would definitely, you know, keep that in mind whenever you create anything. Like if you're good at melodies, good at drums, you know, like if you're amazing at melodies, like start sending over like some of your really good melodies to other producers that, you know, that are higher up or have, you know, they make sales, you know, they get good numbers, plays, whatever.
What do you think about putting up, like, I mean, obviously kits are one thing, but actual like individual sounds and selling them for like a couple bucks or leasing them, I guess you could say, or however you would do it.
What, like guitar loops and stuff?
Yeah, not even, just like, you know, just a couple sounds. I've seen some producers, I forget who was doing it. I think it was the dude Simon was doing it, and he was selling like individual sounds, I think for like $2, $3 a piece or something like that. Instead of selling them in a full kit with all the sounds like individually. Right. I thought that was kind of interesting. So I don't know if you ever thought about doing anything like that, or it's...
Yeah, I do like a little, like I'm trying to actually get a little bit more into like the loop and like making kits, like the loop game and like sample game and stuff like that, making kits. I think it's a good way to, you know, get samples or get placements rather, and or try to get placements anyway. And I think it's just good to take advantage of every type of platform possible. Like I've released a couple guitar loop kits, and it's like they don't do like my beats do, but it's still a little something. And like when you combine all these different sources of revenue, like you make a good living from it, you know?
Absolutely. I want to ask both you guys this question, but I'll stay with you on this first, Thomas.
Okay.
Outside of, you know, doing the YouTube stuff and the consistency of uploading and building the channel, have you done any other form of, you know, paid or non-paid marketing, from either IG ads, YouTube ads, Facebook ads? They even have TikTok ads now. So I mean, is there anything else you have been doing? And I'll have the same question for you, Dylan, after he answers, because I'm just curious if you guys are, you know, and doing anything else besides what you've explained so far.
The only ads I really run are like Google ads. I find that Google ads are really, well, one, I'd like to put myself like in the consumer's mind as well. So like when I'm scrolling through like Instagram or whatever, like sometimes I'm like, just somebody's beat or, you know, whatever, like I just scroll past. So I like to think like how like the consumer would think too, you know? So, I don't know. I just get like kind of annoyed by some ads. Some like I really like, you know, I'm like, oh, I'm going to check that out. But you know, for me, it's like I don't really do too much of the social media ads, and I don't have anything personally against it. Like, you know, like what works for people works. But I just go with Google ads because you kind of start off with like a budget, and then whenever somebody clicks your link, it takes out of the budget. So you could have like $20 a month up to, you know, whatever you want to do. And you can track the stats like really well. And it just feels a little more like legitimate to me, or more organic rather. Like people are actually clicking on the link because, you know, they want to, rather than like maybe an Instagram ad where they're scrolling through and it just plays for like a couple seconds. So it counts as like the person viewed it or whatever. But
Absolutely. Yeah, dude, you got to be super strategic with content when it comes to
Yeah.
social media. We just did a last Thursday, me and Payne One did an ad course on here on this like our live with Twitch and everything. So check that out if you want, but
Yeah,
that's the biggest thing at the end of the day is just content.
Yeah.
So I hear you on that. I don't think it's just you should just throw anything up and be like, "Okay, let's boost this post." Like
yeah,
gotta
that's
be
all. Like, yeah, have a strategy behind it. Like, I wouldn't just like be throwing money away. Essentially, you know,
Exactly.
like if you're going to be putting money into something, like at least have some sort of plan or idea of what you want to do with it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Bufo in the chat said content is king. That's something I say on every single show. I feel like it is because it is. Because at the end of the day, you can't market, you can't advertise, you can't do anything unless you have dope content. Like people skip steps too much. So that's what I try to drive home to people. But no, super dope, man. I had another question for you now. It slipped my mind. I'll go back to Dylan real quick and then I'll come back to, no, I remember it now.
Okay.
Wait, no, I don't. Okay, I'll go back to Dylan. Dylan, have you done anything else? Any other advertising or anything like that?
So I ran ads probably like 3 years ago, I think was the last time I ran an ad. It kind of worked. So I just focus on like content. Like, I mean, just like you said, I mean, it's just like, if you have good content and if you're consistent with it, it's going to rise to the top eventually. And if it's not rising to the top, it's either, I mean, it can be like kind of like, it's like kind of harsh, but like then the content's not good enough yet. I mean, you can get better, so it doesn't matter. But so if you're like, if it's not rising to the top, it's like, okay, you got to work on the content to get it better. And so I think ads, but I'm not, like Thomas said, I don't have anything against ads. I think ads could work, but they would only work if the content is great. Because
Facts.
like, if I came across because this actually happened to me the other day. I was on Instagram scrolling and I saw a sample pack like for like some like R&B vocals, and I actually bought the sample pack off an Instagram ad. So like it worked because the vocal samples were good. So like, but like it like just pushing your like throwing a whole bunch of money and pushing a beat, if it's not going crazy, then you shouldn't put money into that beat, you know? And then if you do, and then I think if like a good strategy for ads would be like just push your top stuff that you know people respond well to, and just double down on that a little bit. But like they're not really necessary to get to a certain point. I mean, like I get my most views and most traffic stuff when I'm doing like a really good job with like understanding the YouTube algorithm and figuring out like how to get my stuff in front of people organically. That pays off for me a lot better.
Absolutely. So outside of YouTube, organically, like free platforms, are you using anything else like SoundCloud, Audio Mac? Obviously, social media is another one. Is there any other platforms or anything else you actually upload to and push traffic to your BeatStar, or is it just mainly just YouTube?
Just YouTube and BeatStars Marketplace are like those are the only two things. I just focus all my attention on those two things.
Amazing. Thomas, same for you, or are you posting else?
Like I post to SoundCloud sometimes. Like I could honestly do it more. I'm not as consistent with it. You know, like I'll lose track like after a while, but then I'll just like mass upload to SoundCloud. And like honestly, I've had like some people hit me up for like be like, oh, I found your beat through SoundCloud or whatever. Mm-hmm. So it's like, you know, just even though I don't get as many views or plays from like that platform, I just think like having it in as many places as possible, you're bringing in just the most opportunity. And it's like, obviously having views is like nice and stuff, but like there's some beats that have like no view, like 50 views on my SoundCloud that somebody finds and they buy and you sell like an exclusive or like a lease or whatever, you know? Mm-hmm. But I would say like I'm the same way though, like mainly just BeatStars and YouTube. But I am like my Instagram a little bit. I try to like post up some guitar videos every now and then. And I try to be like a little bit different with Instagram and maybe even Twitter as well. Like not necessarily just post like beats up nonstop. Like that's what like my BeatStars is for and my YouTube. But like, you know, I could use like Instagram just as a tool to like, you know, show some of my guitar skills or just even a photo of yourself, you know, like just doing like other stuff. Like people love to see like other stuff, you know, like they're intrigued when they like your beats and stuff like that and like your music. Like they want to see photos. They want to see you tweet out something. Like they want to hear your opinions on stuff. You know, it doesn't have to be all just like music. It's a full package thing, you know, like.
Yeah, people have to buy into your brand, and your brand is yourself.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And it's a proven fact backed by data and tons of reports that people connect more with people and like faces and names and shit that is real compared to just Thomas Crager beats or just Dillygotitbumpin. Like they're connecting with Dylan, they're connecting with Thomas. Like they want to see that stuff. So I think that's a really good point, man, that people should really pay attention to, is that if you are going to do paid advertising or just posting organically, like try to let people in your life a little bit if you're open to that. I know some people are a little secretive, I get it, but it's just like the more you can connect with people on like an actual human level, the better it will be for them investing more into you as a customer and just a fan and a supporter. I think a lot of people just miss it. They just think, oh, I got a market. Let me just throw all my beats up on Instagram and that's it. Hey, why am I not getting any sales? It's could be a lot of different things, but a lot of time that is kind of like, it kind of messes up just their whole branding because people are just like, wait, what? Like, I want to know who I'm buying from and who this person is. And, so yeah, I think it's super important to have that aspect, customer service, all that stuff.
And it's not like you can't like still post your beats up on like Instagram or something. I post like just like your hottest ones or whatever, or you know, post it on your story instead of like an actual post, you know, like just take it, you know. I think it works anyways.
No, absolutely, man. Absolutely. All right, cool. So at this time I would want to play a couple tracks. So I'm gonna share my screen. Let me see here. Dylan, I got yours queued up first. I want to play like 2 or 3 of your tracks. Probably not the whole tracks, but like a minute and a half of each one, just to let everybody hear kind of what your top 3 selling based on, you know, what the marketplace is telling me when I sort that on the site. So, and then we'll go over to Thomas's stuff. When I play the music, guys, can you just mute your mics? You don't have to do it right now, but once I get this set up.
Yeah.
Give me 2 seconds. Boom. Okay. Didn't mean to click that, sorry. And that definitely cuts that off, so that isn't going to work. So we're going to have to take this off. 1 second. Boom. All right. All right, cool. So everybody can see the site? Everybody? Guys, can you see? Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. I can see it.
Am I good? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
My bad. I thought I muted myself. My bad. All right, cool. So everybody can see the site. We're going to start with Dylan here, Dillygotitbumpin. So I was saying earlier, this is probably one of my favorite beats on the platform. I said this year. I don't even know if it came out this year. I think it did. Let me check the date. No,
I think it's early. Oh
man, you're right. Yeah, you're right on the cusp. So I was close, but definitely one of my favorite beats in the last year, I should say. I mean, I got a lot of favorite beats, but this one really stuck out to me. It's dope.
Appreciate it.
I could hear it on some sports stuff too, man. I think it would really pop. So let's play "Bad Things" by Dillygotitbumpin. Yeah, if you guys can just mute your mics and we'll rock out to this real quick.
Yep.
Dillygotitbumpin. Dillygotitbumpin.
Dude, that beat is crazy, man. Where'd that?
That's fire.
Yeah, that beat is crazy.
Thank you.
Just the energy of it is just like, I don't know, like it just has it. Like it's a hit song to me, like a hit beat. Like I could hear that on like a reel for like ESPN for like the pump up of the NFL season. I don't know, something like it's just got like really uppity vibes. Like how do you remember like how that beat came together? Was there any like inspiration or something you heard, or you're just like where did it come from?
Yeah, so I was actually like, I feel like that day I was making beats. I was at one of my friends' places, and I was just like trying to get like the daily upload in, and I was actually like really struggling like to come up with a beat that day. And then I was just going through like vocal samples in like my Ableton library and like in my like user library, and I found that one, and then I have like a better knowledge of like chords and stuff, but back then I really didn't. I mean, I kind of had a knowledge, but like not that good. But I remember I took that vocal sample and I dragged it into like Ableton, and like it kind of comes up with like the chords. It like or it attempts to come up with like the melodies like in the software. It'll try to tell you the notes, and it's always way off. And then I literally just started taking notes from there and putting the chords together, and like it kind of just happened. Like it's like I don't know, and I really don't know why that one like popped off so much. I mean, I like it. People really seem to like it, but like it wasn't all that intentional. It was just a daily upload. Like it wasn't like, I mean, every beat I try to make cool, but like,
yeah,
that one just popped. I don't know.
It's always the beats, dude. I've been in this game a long time, man, and I know a lot of producers. It's always the beat that you don't think anything of that you put up that ends up being that one. And and sometimes you can't explain it, man. It's feeling. Like that beat gives me feeling and emotion. Like I don't know how else to explain it. It's just dope. And that's what music to me is the emotion of it and the feeling it gives you. Sometimes you can't pinpoint why. It just makes you feel good. But no, dude, incredible track. Definitely one of my favorites. We just started a new playlist too, guys. You might have saw all the additions. So we started a Road to 1 Millions playlist on the BeatStars account. And you guys all have your top 3 selling per the stats on the marketplace up there. So that'll be cool. A lot of people will get to hear a lot of the people on the show and the Beat Staff. So they're all on there if you guys want to check it out. All right, let's play like 1 or 2 more. I'll play like another like minute or minute and 20 of the next 2. And we'll get some feedback on those, and then we'll swing over to Thomas's stuff. Let's check out No Lie. No Lie is next.
Got it bumping. Dylan got it bumping. Dylan got it bumping.
hot in here, man.
Thank you.
Some fire. Some fire.
Yeah, that was fire.
Have you got? Let me ask you a question. Have you guys ever met or talked before? Ever?
Nah.
Guys should collaborate, man. That's what we do on the show too.
Nah, definitely. I was checking out his beats before that.
Yeah, man.
Same. I listened to yours too. I like the Tory Lanez. Like there's like when you have the guitar and like the vocal samples. I really like those.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, definitely get a collab in, you know.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
man. And nobody's paying. All right. I'm messing with you. All right, man. Let's check out Thomas's stuff now. Let me pull your stuff up, man. That's what we do here. We have people on, and everybody's like never met, which is awesome because I see opportunity when I see that. You know what I mean? Of collaborations, and who knows what can come from it.
Yeah, of course.
All right, let's check it out. Everybody can watch what I'm doing. I mean, this is, like I said, this is a good way to see what some of the top members and top streaming members, and check the top charts, and then go to their accounts, go to tracks, and then just sort by top selling. Like I said, this is all front facing. It's just a good way to say, like, okay, well, this is what's selling for them. What are they doing? I'm not saying to copy them, but I'm saying it's always good to do. I do a lot of market research. So you gotta understand what's going on in the market. All right, so voicemail fallback like this. We're gonna discuss after we're done playing your tracks. We're gonna discuss names and titles and stuff like that because I think that's a lot of things people look over when it comes to uploading to BeatStars. I think there's definitely tactics into getting people to grasp like their eyes and see it and be like, oh, okay. But voicemail fallback like this. Something interesting I want to point out real quick before I play this is, Dylan, your top beat had 272,000, and then it went down, I think, 50,000. And the streams are pretty close together for you guys, the total streams, I mean. But yours are more even. And we had this happen on the other show where Ant Chamberlain was on, and I think 2 of his beats had 700,000 streams or 800,000 streams. But then the other, yeah, it's crazy. And then the other members we had were just the same, 10, 15, 20. And it's just, my point of saying this is there's no one way to get there. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? There's no one way to get there. It might be evened out. One of your beats might take off, bigger than the others, but as long as you're getting there, that's all that matters. So yeah, let's play voicemail. And then we'll talk about it, and we'll play 2 more after that. Let's check this out. Dude, that track is crazy too. I muted you guys, by the way. Dude.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah, everything is so dope. That chant on there, you played everything on that, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's me on guitar, yeah.
Yeah, dude. That's crazy. That's a really dope track. Dude, stuff that has that live instrumentation is that live, real, just cuts through, when you're listening to it, and it's dope, man. It's really dope.
Thanks, man. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I mainly just do guitar stuff. I feel like it's I'm pretty sure those other beats have guitar in them as well. Those my other top beats. So
2017 you uploaded this, man. This is like, what did I say when you joined? 2016, and yeah,
end of 2016.
Yeah,
that
so
was
this-
like one. That's an old beat,
bro. It's
That one's awesome though. I love that one.
Thanks,
well,
man.
that's why I wanted to clarify that is that it's almost 3 years old. It's it is your top selling beat. I mean, according to pulling it, it's pretty crazy, man. That stuff like that is, listen, good content is good content. Or I'm trying to say great content
and
is great
it
content.
still sells in 2020. Like that's still one of my more top selling beats. So yeah.
Hell yeah. When was Fallback? Let's listen to Fallback in another one. And
this one's old too. I think like really only my only newer one, like I think on the top charts is that like Candles beat.
Yeah, I'll play something newer. I just want people to hear some of your newer stuff too.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Cool. So this came out end of this past year, so about 9 months old. So all right, cool. Yeah, let's play Candles. Check this out.
Crager. Crager.
All right, dude. Vibes, man. Everyone in the chat.
Those are
Vibes,
amazing.
vibes. Just straight vibes, man.
Appreciate
I
that.
mean, it's pretty evident of just listening to tracks from both you guys and understanding why you guys have been so successful over the years. And you're going to continue to be, in my opinion, because you've instilled in you that consistency and the creation process are the two most important things, and they are. So that's why people can upload beats to just YouTube and BeatStars and be this successful while doing other things. And I always recommend trying other things out. Advertising and other different forms of marketing and stuff like that are important. You can definitely do it if you have the right content and are consistent with your schedule and giving the people what they want. So I think we figured that out. This is, I think, the 4th or 5th show we've done, and every person literally had over like 300-400 tracks. We're posting all the time, and the music was incredible. And that's the recipe to success, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, both of you guys, great job. It's a pleasure to have you guys both on the platform and just, representing BeatStars with the music and your brand. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thank you.
that.
Thanks for having me.
Hell yeah, man. So we got a couple more minutes. I just wanted to pick your guys' brains too, just, listening to your tracks. Did I not stop sharing? Let me see. 1 second. My apologies. Let me put us back to this. There we go. All right. So based on like listening to your tracks, looking at your artwork, looking at your titles, I'll start with you, Thomas. Is there any strategy that goes into like when you're creating your titles and into your artwork? We've talked to people in the past, and some have some like real strategic things that they do, using like one words or just like 1 or 2 syllables or certain bright colors, because there is research that shows like certain colors people kind of gravitate toward. So anything like that, because I think that's something a lot of people just make the beat, upload, and they just grab whatever image. Whatever title. So
I mean, I used to do kind of like graphics of artists. Like I always switch up like kind of what I'm doing. Like right now all I have is like a solid plain color with just like the title like on my YouTube page with like a little like my logo in the corner. And like those beats, like they sell just as well as like other ways I've uploaded where like the graphics are different. So like I don't really know. Like I mean, I have a little bit of a strategy. Like I like to keep it somewhat simple as far as like the artwork goes. Make sure the title's there. But as far as like naming them goes, like, I don't know, like it's hard. It's harder than you think to come up with names, like after a while, when you have 400 tracks, you're like, all right, what am I naming? You think of a name and you're like, oh, wait, I already have one called that or whatever. But I'm not even kidding. This might sound ridiculous, but I've opened up the dictionary sometimes. I just said, all right, I'm going to just open up the dictionary and like try to find something new, But also like I'll look into like more like heavy rock bands and stuff and see like kind of what they're naming stuff. Like I'll look at different genres of music, like not hip hop, and I'll be like, oh, what are they naming their songs, And I kind of sometimes go off that a little bit, or if I'm just inspired by something that day, it's a little bit random, but it's also somewhat strategic. It's just you want to keep it simple though, and not too long of a title. Like I'm not going to have some super long title,
Yeah, man. What do you, based on what you just said, it's funny because I've had this idea and it's something I've wanted to pitch just, on like the just addition on BeatStars. Like when you're uploading your beats, if there was like a little tab you could open and you could just type in like mood or feeling or anything like that. And it gives you like synonyms, antonyms, like whatever stuff. Like almost like a dictionary where, cause we have the rhyme, we have like the rhyme dictionary and like you can look up words and, to when you're writing rhymes on the rhyme pad. So I thought maybe like naming your beats, like it gave you recommendations just based on like similar things and stuff like that.
That'd be cool.
I think that'd be fire.
Dope. That'd be dope.
Good. I had to test it out on some producers first. It was good.
No, that'd be dope.
Dylan, what about you, man? Anything that really goes into your artwork, titles, stuff like that, or is it kind of just second thought? You hyper focus on content, like the creation of like the beats and stuff.
Yeah. So I keep it like so I kind of picked something a while back and I just stick with it, and it's kind of like I have like a vintage filter on it, and like I just take a picture of the artist, vintage filter, name of the beat on like a black bar across the screen, and like I just want it to like look like I want over time people will recognize that like that's your style if you stay consistent. So like I just want in the thumbnails, like on the suggested videos on YouTube, like for people to like without even thinking about it, just like instinctively know that that's like a Dillygotitbumpin beat. Like just so I just stay consistent. I think it's like I definitely try to make them look cool, but like I just keep the format the same every single time. So like that it's recognizable for people, and it kind of like eventually like it just kind of gets like into their like subconscious that that's what a Dillygotitbumpin beat looks like. So like, I don't know. I think that's just good for branding. So yeah, I think staying consistent is important. As far as the name of the beat goes, like I try to keep it try to match the mood of it. But I'll even go to like, there's this website I use called like randomwordgenerator.com and I'll just keep clicking through until I find one that like sounds like the beat, like they like has the same feeling. And then like what you were talking about on Google, there's actually a new feature. If you like type in like define, like what was one of my bigger beats, like no favor. So like if you like did like define favor, it'll come up with like words like.
Exactly.
And then it'll have like 8 to 10 words that are like that. And I do that all the time.
Exactly what I'm talking about. And I think it's, and that's why I wanted to get your feedback on it, like how you're creating names and titles. Cause I can imagine we're talking about consistency, uploading. Like you said, you got 400 beats, man. That's a lot of names you got to come up with. So I can imagine.
I think
it gets difficult, man. So
yeah, I've used a couple names twice. I think like probably there's a handful of names I've used
so
twice.
by accident.
Just keep doing Bad Things remixes. Bad Things 1, 2, 3, 4.
It would be good because I noticed on BeatStars one time, like I did a weekend type beat, and I'm gonna be on. It like wasn't my strongest performing beat. I was checking the watch time in YouTube, but it was like very similarly named to Bad Things, and it was like a weekend Drake type beat. So it was coming up suggested on the BeatStars marketplace. So I actually took it down from my YouTube. I ended up making like more sales than I should have on that beat, I feel like, because it was getting suggested after my Bad Things. It got way more plays than it should have and way more sales, I think. But that's
interesting.
I don't know.
That's the beauty of it, man. It just snowballs over.
Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome, guys. Well, I want to thank you. I want to give you each like a minute or two just to let people know where to find you. On BeatStars, obviously, then like, any social medias like your YouTube, Instagram, and then anything you got in the works. I mean, anything you are working on right now, or, you want to promote, take this time to do it. Thomas, I'll start up with you up top. Talk to the people, let them know how they can find you.
You can find me like my social media for Twitter, Instagram, pretty much everything is just Thomas Crager, exactly how it's spelled on the screen, ThomasCrager. And my YouTube is Thomas Crager Beats. If you just search that, it'll come up, and yeah, that's about it. I don't really have much more to say.
Just making beats and uploading the YouTube and BeatStars. Got it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, dude, we appreciate you coming on, man.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, no, I really mean it, man. It's really cool that you guys come back here and you talk to people and give them your advice and tips, and that's what the community is about. I mean, I think we can all win. You know what I mean? There's enough to go around for everybody. So we appreciate it, man. Dylan, man, talk to them. How can they find you? Anything you're working on?
So it's Dillygotitbumpin for everything. I post on my Instagram stories a little bit. I need to do more of that. Like I definitely need to do like more sharing like personal stuff like you were talking about earlier. So Dillygotitbumpin, my main type beat channel is just Dillygotitbumpin. And then I'm starting a second channel it's just called Dilly. And like if you go to my main type beat channel, and it's like I think it's on the side, there's like a channel section. And so I'm doing like behind the scenes stuff over there. So that one's just called Dilly. And then so like I actually broke down the Bad Things beat, like showed how I made it and everything. So I'm trying to get that going, trying to get both sides going.
She get a sponsorship with who was it, Bud, who did the Eagle stuff, the Dilly when we won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I'm a Philly fan, if you can't tell, man. Sixers all day. Like, and I think you're a Toronto fan, and you just like their logo, Dilly.
I just like their logo. I need to switch that up though. I'm gonna switch it pretty soon. But I got the brand recognition already, so it's kind of tough.
It's dope. It's a dope logo, man. Well, guys, I appreciate it. Thank you too, Dylan, for coming on. Same thing I just said to Thomas, man, goes to you as well. It's really cool that you guys come back here. You could just be like, no, I'm not going on these live streams. Not sharing any information, but you didn't. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. BeatStars appreciate it. The community appreciates it. And I learned a lot. I learned something every time I do one of these shows. So thank you again. We'll catch everybody next month for the next episode of Road to 1 Million Streams. Peace out.